The first section of this masterclass is about the pendulum, so I'm gonna give you a bit of information about the kinds of pendulums that we have and where they come from. There are three kinds of healing pendulums that we know: the Egyptian, the Hebrew, and the universal. For the last two, I give you some information in the PDF so you can see the difference, but this class is fully dedicated to the Egyptian pendulum. We call them Egyptian pendulums because they were actually found in Egypt inside of the pyramids. According to the experts, they were used for many things: to find water, to know where to build the pyramids, and of course for healing purposes and to connect to the divine. Now I am going to show you a few different Egyptian pendulums so you can choose which one you want to use. The traditional Egyptian pendulums have different shapes and they have the names of the goddesses, and you can find them made of wood or made of brass, and they look something like this one. These are perfect if you are going to do healing sessions, but if you are just starting, and especially for this masterclass, the most commercial pendulums that you can find in the market are made of stones or crystals, and they look like this. And also this one with the stones of the chakras and metal at the end. For beginners, I recommend to use a very simple pendulum, for example like this one, especially crystal quartz or amethyst. And if you want to learn about healing techniques later on, this will be a very good foundation. Before programming the pendulum, I'm going to give you a bit of guidance so you know how to get your space prepared and also for yourself. Every time you use the pendulum, I recommend you to stay in a quiet room where you feel comfortable and relaxed. And the first thing that you have to do is to clear the space. And for this, I'm giving you some tips that you can do. For example, burn an incense, or a candle, or a Palo Santo stick if you have one, and also bang a Tibetan ball a few times. After you have learned how to get your space ready and yourself, I'm gonna show you how to hold the pendulum correctly. Usually the chains are very long, so my advice is that you hold it from the middle, more or less like this. A very important thing that you have to consider is that your wrist is always straight. So a good position to use the pendulum would be this one. This is not correct. This is correct. So hold your pendulum and now you're ready to start programming. The first thing that I'm going to show you is the 4 movements that you can get with your pendulum. One of the movements that you can get with the pendulum is the shape of a cross. So your pendulum might move parallel to your body, like this, or perpendicular to your body, like this. The second option that I'm giving you is the drawing of a clock. So the pendulum might move in any direction of the clock. 12, 6, 9 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. The next option is spiral movements. The first spiral movement is clockwise, which means the pendulum will move like this. And the last option is counterwise, which means that the pendulum will move on the contrary direction like this. I want you to repeat this exercise a few times so you get to experience how the pendulum moves and it reads different energies. This will allow you to understand better and to feel more confident. Hold the pendulum with one hand and place the other hand below with your palm facing up, and make sure that you keep the pendulum a few centimeters away without touching the hand, and also that you don't touch the body. Relax your shoulders and hold the pendulum softly so it can move easily. Now tell the pendulum to give you a yes. Give me a yes, and wait until the pendulum moves. As you can see, mine is moving fast because this is my yes. You need to be confident but also patient because the first time it might take a while. Remember the optional movements that I gave you before, clockwise and also counterwise, also perpendicular and parallel to the body. Any of these moves might be your yes. Don't worry, they can be different for everybody, but your yes should always be the same. Once you have a clear yes, we are going to do the same to program your no. So go back into the same position. Make sure that your mind is relaxed as well, and you concentrate on the question, and you give a clear command to the pendulum. So this time you have to say, give me a no, and wait until the pendulum moves. This time you can also see how the pendulum is moving differently because this is my no. And again, I have to remind you that your no will be different than mine. You just have to make sure that your no is different than your yes. But no might be moving in different directions. Any of the options that you practiced in the previous exercise. So your no might be clockwise, counterwise, parallel to your body, perpendicular to your body, or on any of the directions of the clock. By the end of this video, you should already have a clear yes and a clear no. But in case that is not working for you, I just want to give you some tips to help you. Make sure that you are drinking plenty of water. Make sure that you are deeply concentrated on the question that you're asking the pendulum. So if you're asking yes, make sure that your mind is thinking of a yes. If you're asking no, make sure that your mind is thinking of a no. And if by any chance your pendulum is still not working and you don't feel confident, I recommend you to go back to the beginning of this masterclass and start step by step following the guidance that I have given you. And after this, I am completely sure that you will be able to program your pendulum. The purpose of this class is also to help you to connect to your intuition and to experience how the pendulum moves, it reads the energies, and it gives you very precise answers. My personal advice for you is that you don't use the pendulum as an oracle, especially not for those questions of the future or for those that you already know the answer. Keep a mindful use of the pendulum. This is a necessary step for anybody who wants to learn more about healing and eventually start their own healing sessions. Thank you and Namaste.